Hi, I'm Rick Dior, and that was a very simple big band tune called Sax to the Max. And you'll have to excuse my voice today. I have a little bit of a cold. So this is from the book Sittin' In with the Big Band, Volume 1. And I am recording a lot of these on this YouTube channel to help my students and others who want to learn how to play basic big band charts. These are very simple charts, kind of similar to what you might play in high school or kind of a rudimentary, maybe college band. But they're not difficult at all, and it's a great place to start. And the recordings are fantastic. The musicians are great on the recordings. There's even a demo track that you have a drummer that plays on that sounds really good. So I highly recommend this series. And I've done some others in this series already that were a little more complicated from book 2. But we're going to do a few now from book 1 because I've gotten a lot of emails, people asking me to play something simpler. And there's not that much simple stuff out there that's actually high quality. So this is one of those things that is. So you'll notice in the beginning, it's kind of a pedal tone on the bass. So boom, 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 boom. So in that case, you want to use a cymbal that has maybe rivets in it, is a little bit thinner, that's not super articulate. And all these cymbals, like I always say in my videos, are crash as well as ride cymbals. So all your cymbals in a big band setup, you should be able to crash on them and ride on them. This particular old K here from the 50s has 3 rivets, and it gives me that kind of longer sound over that bass pedal tone. So that's the intro, and that comes back a few times. But then when we get to bar 9 there, it says hat. So I think that the arranger meant for you to play it like this, which is completely fine, and that's a very old style, the swing era, really. So I'm going to play this for you from the beginning, and then now I'm going to play the hi-hat like that, so you can just hear the difference. In the first take I did there, I played the ride cymbal. So that's it with the hi-hat there. Kind of an older style, but totally relevant if you're trying to recapture that old sort of big band sound. And the way I'm playing that rhythm on the hi-hat is this. So you want to make sure you play 2 opens, all right? And then I'm also adding this cross-room click here, this cross stick. And I'm playing very lightly on my bass drum, all 4. So that's effective because when you go to your ride cymbal, the whole thing opens up there. And it's nice to make contrasts. You'll notice in the first take that I use different cymbals for different parts of the tune. The intro, I use this sizzle cymbal. Then on the bass of the tune, the main tune, I use this 22-inch ride. And then on the sax solo section, I use this China cymbal. So that's a very common thing that a lot of the great big band drummers did back in the day. So that's what I recommend doing, just having different colors there to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm not doing anything real fancy to catch these figures, very light fills. You try not to break time too much. That's very important. And also, there's short and long sounds, ba-da-ba-ba, like that. A lot of times you want to reinforce a cymbal with a snare drum or a bass drum. But if you have a short sound, you can play a long sound like a cymbal with it. So that's better, a lot better than just playing a snare drum with it, which tends to sound a little strange to me. So I usually color that with a cymbal or my bass drum or something. You're not just all of a sudden just playing a hard hit on a short sound. The same goes for a cymbal. You want to reinforce that when you have a singular hit with a snare drum or a bass drum. So you see there how I am reinforcing the cymbal. You don't just want to play it by itself. Kind of, you leave it out there in left field. There's no support for that. Now my ride pattern for this particular tempo is very tight. So it's a sound like almost the old bassy sound, Count Basie sound, which is this. So if you listen to Sonny Payne or Harold Jones play with Basie, Duffy Jackson, another great drummer, that's the sound. It keeps that quarter note in perspective. You could easily swing this with just a quarter note. And that's just up to the bass player and the band if it's swinging in that case. But again, I play my ride very tight in this particular instance. So I hope you got something out of this video. I'm going to play it one more time for you, and then we'll show you some different views, maybe an overhead view. And I'm going to play a little more aggressively now, so you can see what it would be like to play bigger fills. It's not necessarily the way I would play it all the time. And this kind of stuff, this simple kind of big band, is very relevant if you're going to play with an orchestra, a professional orchestra. They do a lot of pops things, and you got to keep it really simple when you're trying to keep 80 or 90 people together. So this is very relevant for playing actually gigs today. So we'll put this on, and we'll see you next time.